Hey everybody, Diane Hagerty, Grassroots Taxes one more time. Okay, more videos today. I'm making a bunch of them, so watch them all. This one is about employers, small employers, and how the HR 6201 legislation that finally passed the Senate was signed by the President, how this is going to affect you and your business and your employees. I got a lot to cover. I'm going to try and go quick. We'll get to the details when the details become available. But you need to stay in business, yet you need to help your employees, yet you need to help yourself. So how do we balance this? There's a couple of options open for everybody. First, unemployment. It's been expanded. You can lay people off. If you can't pay them, lay them off. They can go get unemployment right away. There's no wait period, and your rate will not go up. So all this time you're like, oh, don't claim unemployment. I don't have any claims against me. Don't worry about it. Your rate will not go up. Just lay everybody off and let them claim unemployment. If you are your only employee, so I talked about this in another video, if you're a single member LLC, your filing is an S Corp, and you have yourself on payroll and you're paying 941 taxes, unemployment, all that, this goes for you too. If you lose a client or people cancel on you, you can lay yourself off. You can just lay yourself off and collect unemployment and you should be fine. Just remember, you're wearing two hats. So when you file for unemployment, you're wearing the employee hat. And when you get the stuff in the mail saying why you're claiming unemployment, that's your employer hat. So you will need to fill out both sides of the paperwork and make sure you know what voice you're from. Saying like, oh, well, I fired myself. Don't say that. You're an employee, you're an employer. You're two things. Now, let's talk about the other things that we have available. Yesterday, they passed Emergency Paid Sick Leave Act and the Emergency FMLA Act, Family Medical Leave Act. If you are a small employer, which most of my clients are way less than 50 employees, a lot of this doesn't apply, but it applies to you now. Pretty much anyone that has 1 to 500 employees, this applies to. If you employees are sick, or if they are quarantined, if they are self-quarantined because they think they've been exposed, if their kids are out of school and they have to stay home, if they have no daycare, whatever, there's a zillion reasons. But if they're out because of the coronavirus, they cannot come to work, you are required to pay them 10 days of sick pay at their regular rate or minimum wage, whichever is higher. So if you have tipped employees, if you have servers, you're paying $2.63 an hour, you need to pay their sick leave at minimum wage in your state. In Arkansas, that is $10 an hour, not $2.63. There's a big gap there. Yes, you are required to do this. The same rules apply for the FMLA. I'll get to that. But the only reason that this can't apply to you is if you cannot pay it because you cannot cash flow it because you will no longer be a going concern. The actual words they're using is it will jeopardize your going concern. In other words, your business will fail. You'll bankrupt yourself and be out of business. If you cannot pay it, I'd be prepared to show that. But if you can, remember, you will get reimbursed for this. It's another video. I'm going to talk about the tax credits that are available. Any of this leave you're paying, you will be reimbursed for. However, you won't be reimbursed till July. So that's something you really need to think about. If you don't think you can pay sick leave to your employees when they're off, it might be in your best interest to just cut them loose. Just cut loose as many people as you can and let them claim unemployment. Now, what do you need to pay? The first 10 days, it would be the Emergency Sick Pay Act. So that's 10 days of what they normally would work. So if they don't have childcare on Monday and Tuesday, and they can show up for work Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, they can take it 2 days at a time. It is based on not a number of standard hours, but full-time, 80 hours, part-time, whatever you would normally work. They did not include a metric in the original legislation. They did include a metric in the original legislation. They did not include a metric on how to figure out that how many hours a part-time person would be due in the new legislation. So I guess it's up to you and your employee. I'm not really sure how that's going to work. I'm sure somebody will come up with a rule for it Government's good at making rules, just not yet today. After that first 10 days of paid sick leave, then they qualify for Expanded Family Medical Leave Act, FMLA. And for 10 weeks, you can pay them at 2/3. Well, actually, here's what the legislation says exactly. Not less than 2/3 of their normal pay, which again, that's not server wage, that is minimum wage. So 2/3 of that, not less than 2/3. So you can pay them the full amount and get reimbursed for it, I think. But you cannot pay less than 2/3 for that subsequent 10 weeks of leave. This is only a 12-week package they passed. That's it, 12 weeks. It doesn't seem like a lot. But hopefully in 3 months, everybody will be back to work. Maybe, I don't know. The requirements for giving people their job back after FMLA have been reduced. If you have less than 25 employees, you don't have to worry about keeping their job back. You should hire them back. But I mean, you want your good employees back, but there's not a whole lot we can do. If you cannot cash flow this, it may be in your best interest to just lay off your employees. And that's my professional opinion. That is not coming from here. You are required to pay sick leave. If you are open, or if you still have employees or all full staff, if you can't swing it and you can't pay the sick leave, you may consider just laying a bunch of your staff off and letting them claim unemployment. That's all I've got for you today. I really don't have a whole lot more guidance on this right now. It'll be coming through. Hopefully there'll be more stuff passed in the next couple of days. We're watching the Senate, we're watching Congress, we're watching the IRS. I'll get your rules to you in blog posts. Meanwhile, watch all my other videos. The next video I'm going to post is going to be about the tax credits and how you are getting your money back and when, if you are paying sick leave or FMLA leave. So watch my other videos, subscribe to my channel, watch me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. You know what to do. You know the drill. Do all those things, and I'll keep you up to date on information as soon as I have it. So I've got your back, and I'm looking out for you.